worth his salt ever opened his mouth. No Englishman. It had to be an American. It was in a mosque. I was talking to him. I happen to be one of the guides in the largest mosque in the southern hemisphere, which is in Durban. I do a job of work, where we have, last year we handled more than 12,000 tourists. And we don't just entertain them, allow them to see the sights. And so this marble came from where? From Spain. And the chandeliers came from Turkey. And the terrazzo work and the carpet came from Persia. And the teak came from Burma. Dead things you're talking about. These people that come to our masjids, they want to know you, what you stand for, not these dead things. Because perhaps they have better dead things than these in their own home. But this is the usual practice. If you go to the Blue Mosque, you go to the Mohammedan Mosque in Egypt, well, the mosque in Washington, D.C., I've been there, and I see the same procedure. Where the marble came from, and the terrazzo came from, and the carpet came from, and the Turks did this, and rubbish, garbage. The Americans is garbage, all garbage. So I do a job of work. And in this, I talk to people, ask them questions, they ask me questions. So it happened to be an American. I was telling him, I said, look, speaking English, that's his also mother tongue, English. He's American, but he speaks English. So I said, will you tell me, when you say begotten, not made, what are you trying to emphasize? What are you trying to tell me? He said, it means, I said, what does it mean? He said, it means sired by God. Sired by God. That is the word they use in animal husbandry, the type of thing they do, artificial insemination and the natural processes. They said this horse was sired by that one, and that was his father, and he was sired by that one, and sired by that one. It's an animal term used in animal husbandry. I said, what? When he said sired by, so what? He said, no, I'm only telling you what it means. I didn't say that is what happened. You see? This is what it is. It's a beautiful way for you to start with your fellow countrymen. When they talk about Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son, begotten, not made, because God had many sons, but those are metaphorical. See, Adam was created by God. He was not begotten. Jesus was begotten, not made. So you ask him very nicely. Say, look, we are people from the East. Maybe you are the second or third generation English, British, yeah? But most of us I see are first generation people coming, and that language also betrays some bit of Pakistan or some bit of Bangladesh and some bit of Hindustan in their tongue when they speak English. It betrays to me, says, look, where you come from? I know where you come from. You see? So, for you it's so nice, so humble, in all humility. You said, sir, will you please explain? When you say begotten, not made, what are you trying to tell me? I don't understand. Will you please make it easy for me? And wallah, no Englishman will ever open his mouth. That is the best way of teaching him. The fallacy of what he's telling you. Ask him, simple question, humble question. Please explain to me what is to beget in your language. When you say begotten, not made, what are you trying to tell me? Now, this is the main reason why in Islam we say you approach Allah as an abd, as a servant, as a slave. And the slave of God is a free man. He is a free man. This idea of father and sonship, we know what it has done to the mentality of people. That familiarity they want to create with God, and what that familiarity has done to them. See, the example is there before you. In America, you see it. You see it here in Hyde Park. When I was here, I saw it on TV. 8,000 gays in London's Hyde Park advertising their wares. Last June, in San Francisco, not this June, the previous June, 300,000 sodomites, which you call them gays, they gathered in San Francisco on a pilgrimage led by 50 lesbians on motorcycles. This is the type of attitude you have towards God. He's like a friend to you, like your bosom pal. You can behave anyhow you like with him. That awe, respect, reverence is gone. So when you think like that, you behave like that. But now people generally ask, all these things, how do you get to all these sort of things? Which school, which university, which Darul Uloom you went to? Wallah, I went to no university, I went to no Darul Uloom. How does all these things come about? So that you see, I left school at the age of 16. I passed what is called Standard 6. And and I was working in a country shop, some 25 miles outside Durban, a country shop in the country. And across the valley from where the shop was an American mission called Adams Mission Station. It was an American board mission, Ahmed told me, on the south coast. At this mission, the missionaries were being trained in comparative religion. And whatever they learned, they practiced on us in the shop. You see, I was a salesman selling sugar and salt, handkerchief, rice, things like that, little things. And all the other staff were like myself, all schoolboys, just left school. Cheap labor, you see. So we were there, and these missionaries, they come along, and they knock heads into us. The guy comes along, he says, he's buying his things, but he says, Mohammed has so many wives. I know nothing about that. Really, I knew nothing about that. He says, Muhammad, he copied his book, the Quran, from the Jews and the Christians. I knew nothing about that. He says, Islam was spread at the point of the sword. I knew nothing about that. The only knowledge I had about Islam, as well as my companions, was that we read the Kalima. If I ever met any one of you then, and you say you're a Muslim, I say, can you read the Kalima? He said, yes. I said, come on, read. So he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I said, right. Pass. That's how I passed, and I passed everybody. You read the Kalima, you're Muslim. What that meant, I didn't know. Wallah, I didn't know. I read it, that's a formula, magic formula, I'm a Muslim. I knew the way my father prayed, I prayed, the way he made wudu, I make wudu, the way he fasted, I fasted. I knew all that. But what about Islam? I knew nothing. What should I lie to you? And this is my people. This is what we were. We knew nothing. We were Muslims, we read the Kalima. So these people are making life miserable for us. They didn't know that they were creating a monster for themselves. That they didn't know. If they only knew, they'd regret that they say, why did we touch this guy? Should have left him alone. So, still time. Take your time. So what to do? Leave the job and run away? Or fight back? Now you can't fight back if you have no weapons. And jobs are hard to find. After high school, I was getting £6 a month, my wages. But at the end of the month, I didn't get the wages. I had to work another whole month to get the previous month's wages. That's how bad it was. What to do? So you great. What to do? Run away. But there's no way out. But I had a hunger for reading anything, everything, any rubbish will do. Read. It's a sickness. I had a sickness for reading. So one Sunday, nothing to do, I go into the boss's warehouse and rummaging through a pile of newspapers. I'm looking for some more readily, some nice reading material, like a magazine. We had something like the Farmer's Weekly, we had the Outspan, Personality. I'm looking for anything like that in the pile of newspapers. So I'm going through, putting the newspapers one side. If I find something, I put other side. I said, this, I'll take it into my room and read them. And going through. And Allah is Musabbibul Asbab. He is the creator of opportunities. See how he does it. How Lenin found that book. Lenin, Karl Marx, Das Kapital. He was in prison and he read it. And he came out, he implemented it. One man. And today, 200 million, 1,000 million communists. Because one man read the book. This is what the potentiality of a book. This, I find a book, a worm-eaten book. Red cover, full of mildew. I take it up and start to sneeze. The book, it says, Izharul Haq. I-Z-H-A-R-U-L-H-A-Q. Izharul Haq. Sounds like Muslim. Izharul Haq. I have no knowledge about these things. Izharul Haq. Izharul Haq. It doesn't sound English, does it? To my mind, it is I-Z-H-A-R-U-L. Izharul H-A-Q. Izharul Haq. What is Izharul Haq? So I see in bracket, in small writing, it says the truth revealed. So maybe that means this. Let's see. So I open the book. And it is a book about the British conquest of India. my country, that when the British conquered my country, they realized that at any time, anybody that will give them trouble in their country will be the Muslims. Because power, rule, dominion was wrenched out of their hands, and once you have tasted power and rule, you want to aspire for it once more. So if we can convert the Muslims, they reasoned, if we teach them to turn the other cheek, we can rule them for 1,000 years peacefully. The Hindus were as docile as the cows that they worship at that time. No problem.